G'day, Professor Joseph Drew here. I think it's incredibly important that academics are doing practical research, busting myths and putting facts out there that can be used by people to make better decisions every day. That's the whole objective of my research agenda for the next few years until my time is up. So listen in and I'll tell you precisely what I'm planning and ask for your suggestions. So why should academics be practical? I call myself a pracademic. I do practical stuff with the knowledge that I create. I climb down from my ivory tower and I go out and I talk to communities and I work with councils one-on-one. And it's no fun at all. It's a lot easier to teach students than to do consulting work. But I do it because I need to test my theories. I need to find out where the gaps are in the knowledge base and address those gaps in future research. I need to find out what the myths are so I can bust them. Now, academics, we have a responsibility. At the end of the day, a good portion of our wage is paid by the taxpayer through HECS and all those schemes funded by the federal government. We have a responsibility to return value to the rest of the population. It's particularly a problem sometimes in academia because a lot of academics come from a particular class. They don't always know what it's like to be an average Australian. They don't always know what the problems are facing average Australians and the things that average Australians are worried about. So making our work more practical, getting out there and dealing with the community and helping the community is a really important reality check. But unfortunately, the academic process is incredibly slow. It typically takes me a couple months to write a paper. A lot of academics will take 3, 4, 5, 6 months to write a paper. But the journal process to get it published is very, very slow. Usually you're waiting 3 or 4 months for reviews. Then you have to do revisions. Finally, it gets published. That's if it gets up at the first journal you send it to. It's not uncommon for my research to take 1 year or more before it hits the print. So that's slowing me up. And it's only in the last couple of years that I've got this more practical orientation. So I'm going to tell you about some of the stuff that's out there. And in the next slide, I'm going to tell you about the exciting stuff I'm planning on doing. So I'm writing a book at the moment, Creating Human Value. It's a new public paradigm. It's going to fix all the flaws that are in the extant paradigm, which is creating public value. That's why a lot of councils, a lot of governments around the world and in a lot of financial trouble, and why financial sustainability is heading down that way. So creating human value says we shouldn't be focusing on building things and money and dollars and numbers and ratios. We should be focusing on the purpose of government, which is the person. If you watch my other videos, you know that. Financial sustainability and size. That paper has a tick next to it because it's just been accepted at Australian Journal of Public Administration, our best PA journal in this country. It'll be available online first, shortly, and I'll do a video on it. There's a paper out there at the moment on the heuristic of de-amalgamation. If you want to know the strategy of how to do a de-amalgamation, that's a paper that you want to see published. It's under revisions at the moment. I'm waiting for them to get back to me and hopefully accept it. There's another paper out there present on income heterogeneity and efficiency. Do you know that the more of a gap you have between incomes in your local government area, the lower your efficiency is, and it's a huge response. That paper is currently under review. It's been under review for about 5 months. I just have to wait patiently and hope the reviewers get around to spending the 2 hours to read it and to hopefully accept it. The next paper that's out there is Evidence and Amalgamation. It's been under review for 11 months at one of the best journals in America. I'm waiting for 11 months for people to read it and give me back their feedback. And I'm planning on writing a book, Making Local Government Sustainable. I think that's incredibly important. It should be in the next slide. I'll talk about it there as well. There's another paper that was just accepted at a Japanese journal about what went wrong in the amalgamations. I think I can send copies around about that. It's a summary of all the evidence about the amalgamations in New South Wales and the theory and why it was important to look at the theory to understand what was going to happen. If you want a copy of that, just email me directly. So I'll get back to the last item on the last slide, making local government sustainable. It's in the contract phase, so I sort of started, I sort of haven't, but I haven't written one single word on the book yet. It's a book that I plan on doing with my valued colleague, Professor Miyazaki from Japan. It is going to be a manual for making your local government financially sustainable. I'm going to spend the first chapter talking about what financial sustainability is. And then the rest of the book is going to be practical recommendations for how to improve sustainability based on the 40-odd commercial consulting engagements I've done and the 100-odd papers that I've done and the engagements that Masato has done in Japan and all his huge volume of publications as well. So it's something to look out for. I hope I can get enough funding in time from a university to finish it in the time I have remaining. If I can't, well, then we don't get the book, do we? So the other papers that are out there at present, we've started a paper with one of my PhD students on long-term financial planning and how accurate it is. As you know, it's used to assess special rate variations. The numbers are coming through. I think you're going to be surprised, really shocked. And it's obviously a really important paper to get out there. There's another paper I'm planning, haven't started yet, on population decline and its fiscal effects. So what's the effect of a declining population if you're in a small rural area where the population's going backwards? How's that affect unit costs and how does it affect financial sustainability? That paper I hope to do in February. Another paper being planned on ethnic heterogeneity. So when you have lots of different ethnicities in a local government area, and hey, I love immigration, most of my friends come from different countries, but it has a cost. Economic theory assumes or predicts that it has a cost. No one's actually quantified that cost, so I'm going to do it. I'm going to tell you the effect of ethnic heterogeneity on efficiency and financial sustainability. That'll be later in the year, I hope. Then I need to do a new paper on the determinants of efficiency, updating it with the most up-to-date, sophisticated technique, which is full whole disposability. And this time I'll be doing on Victoria because I can include the citizen satisfaction data to see if that's a determinant of efficiency. Now, I should say, if you're an academic listening to all this, do not pinch my ideas. This is why I don't normally do videos like this. Think of your own ideas. That'd be really nice. I've had it done to me before, so please don't. And the last one is aging, the internal migration of the aged from, say, Sydney to more desirable places like Port Macquarie. What is the effect on unit costs, on expenditure, and what is the effect on financial sustainability? That was that idea came from one of my avid listeners, Rob, I think, and thank you very much for the idea. And to that point, if you've got a great idea, if I can make it work with the data, if there's a theory, I'll investigate it. But there's only one of me. I'm writing one book per year. I can only write probably another 4 or 5 papers per year, and I've only got a certain number of years left until I'm not writing anything. So bear that in mind. But if you've got a great idea, put it in the comments, send me an email, let me know. Like always, if you enjoyed this video, if you want to see more, give me the thumbs up. If you don't, I won't make them. It's as simple as that. If you want to see more videos, get a mate to subscribe, because if I don't get more subscribers, it really isn't worth my time. I'm only here to help you. I'm only trying to give you information, get requests for research off you guys. I'm not trying anything sneaky here. And if we don't all help each other, we're just not going to improve. And if we keep doing what we're doing, it's quite obvious that we're heading straight off a fiscal cliff. So help me to help others. Give me the thumbs up, subscribe, and thank you very much for your time. Goodbye.